Hello everyone and welcome back to another coin roll hunting video. In today's video we're going to be going through some half dollars. I've got 3 rolls here, and then this bag here has some loose half dollars as well. And then we're also going to be going through some dollar bills and doing some bill hunting today as well, looking for fancy serial numbers and stuff. So let's get into it. Alright, so I thought we'd start out with the half dollars. I haven't done a good half dollar hunt in a little while. Half dollars have been super hard for me to find, but I was able to, the last time I went to the bank, I was able to get these basically 4 rolls. It's equivalent of 4 rolls. This is the same amount as a roll. It just wasn't in a roll, they were just loose in the tray. But I thought I would share real quick before we get into everything. I do have some half dollar books that we'll be working on filling today as well. I've got this Kennedy half dollar book starting in 1964, and then I have these 2 Franklin half dollar books, which if we find a Benji, we'll stick them in here if they go in here. But if not, then that's fine. But if we did find a Benji, that'd be awesome because they're silver too. But anyways, let's get into this. I'm going to start with this envelope first, since it's kind of a little different than the normal stuff. And while we do this, I'll kind of talk about what we're looking for. So we are, here, I'll show you the inside of there up close real quick. Look at that. I'm not seeing any silver straight away, but what we're going to be doing here, this is called edge hunting. Basically, for this envelope, we can't really do it as well because we're not looking at the edge as much. But basically for edge hunting, like when I open one of these rolls, we'll be looking at the edges of the coins to see if we have any silver edges there. There's a nice 2023. Now that's not considered an NIFC, which NIFCs are one of the things that we look for. Basically the NIFC, it stands for not intended for circulation. I wanted to point out before I get into that too, these rolls, I'm not sure if they've been searched because they all have these lines on them, which is not a great sign. This roll is taped as well, so that's kind of interesting. But let me get this tape off. But anyways, for NIFCs, it just means they're not intended for circulation. So the mint made them, but they didn't release them to the public. They were just released to like collectors. I'm not seeing any silver there. But yeah, so we will look for those years. And then we also look for that silver, like I said. For half dollars, it's a little different than other coins because for half dollars, we have 40% and 90% silver. So anything 1964 or older would be 90% silver. And then for our, let me see here, I don't see anything. This is a really nice orange edge, but it's probably just a 2023. But I'll pull it out anyway. Oh, it's a bicentennial actually, a really nice one. But yeah, so our 40% silver is 1965 to 1970, and then 1964 and older is 90%. Sorry, I keep getting a little distracted with this. Some other things that we also look for in these hunts are, we'll be looking for errors, so we'll be setting aside errors, or different coins to look for errors, rather. And it looks like we don't have any silver, which is a little sad, but that's okay. We only had 4 rolls, so I wasn't really expecting to find any silver. We also will look for foreign coins, proofs. There's a 2014 gold, but that wouldn't be in here since we haven't seen it yet. And then also magic coins or anything that just typically shouldn't be in a roll, we'll be looking for that as well. I also wanted to share that when I went to the bank, I went through the Coinstar, and I found a couple things in the bottom of the Coinstar, so I thought I'd share. So we have here, this is a Canadian nickel, and it's from 1994, so we got a Canadian nickel there for free, just searching through the reject coins in the Coinstar at the bank. And then we have here as well, this I think is if I was looking at it earlier, I think it's a casino token, and I think it's a 25 cent, yeah, it looks like 25 cent gaming token. So pretty interesting. I've never seen this token before. Now the Canadian nickels I find quite often, but this is a new thing for me, so pretty cool. So I'm going to stick those up there as finds, and then I'm going to search through these and look for NIFCs and errors and all those other things that we talked about. Alright everyone, so I just finished searching through the half dollars, and I didn't end up finding any errors or anything special really, but we did get to fill in a lot of slots in our book here, so we're just missing now. I haven't punched these all down yet, and some of these are in here already, like you can see any of these that are fully punched in. This one's not punched in. But I'm going to punch them in off camera, But we just are missing all of our silver ones, so all of these empty slots over here are silver ones. And then we have our 1979D, and then 81D, 82 Philly, 84 Philly, and 85 Philly as well. So we're doing really good on our book, and then like I said, we have these 2 coins that I found in the Coinstar as well as our finds. Now let's move on to those dollar bills. Alright, so we'll move on to our dollar bill portion of this hunt. So I have here a big old stack of dollar bills, so I've got $100 bills right here, and we're going to search through these for all sorts of fancy serial numbers and star notes and things like that. Now I did want to show as well, at the same time as I got these ones, I pulled out a couple 20s so I could go to a different bank and bring some cash with me, and I got these $2 bills, and now they're not super fancy, but I thought I'd share them anyway just to kind of show off some of what we look for. So this one, this could be considered a birthday note. So you can see here the serial number is 09181890, so that would be September 18th, 1890. Now I looked up this date and it doesn't seem to have any significance or anything, but if this has any significance that you know other than what I could find, let me know. But that's pretty cool. And then also for this bill is super close to being even more fancy. If this second 1 and 8 were switched places, then these 4 digits would be the same if this was reversed as well. And I can't remember what that's called, possibly a radar bill, I think that might be what it's called. But it's just barely not there, so not quite, but still pretty cool birthday note. And then the other $20 bill that I got as well is a star note here, so we'll be looking for these as well. Sometimes they're more valuable, sometimes they're not. I think this one is probably not, but let me know what you think down in the comments. But you can just see that little star there. Usually there's a letter here instead, so like on this birthday one that I have that I just showed, it's got an H there instead. But this one, there's a star, and the star just means that at some point a bill was destroyed, and this was made as a replacement bill for it, basically. So that's pretty cool. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to go through all of this on camera because that'll take a long while, and I'm not super experienced with doing bill hunts. So I'll go through it off camera, and when I find things, I'll pull you in. Alright, so I just finished searching through the $100, and I thought I'd show you what I found, and we do a little wrap up here. So these $2 are the ones that I wanted to talk about. So this one here, it's a little bit of a fancy serial number. Again, I wouldn't know values on any of these. I don't think that any of these are really worth that much. But this is it's a repeater note, but it's not a full repeater note, just a 6-digit repeater. So you can see it says 01641646. So that 164 pattern is repeated twice. So that's why it's called a 6-digit repeater. Sometimes you'll get repeaters where all 4 of the digits repeat. So something like 4312, 4312 or something like that would be a full repeater. But that's pretty cool. I found that. And then the other thing that I found is just another star note, but it's a $1 bill star note. And this one, again, I don't think it's really anything special. Same with this other star note that I have. I don't think it's anything special. I think the best one that I found out of all of the bills is actually this birthday note, although it is a little bit of an older birthday note. But if anyone's interested in a September 18th, 1890 birthday note, let me know. Maybe you have an ancestor or something that was born that day, or that's a date of significance to your family in some way. I know I've sometimes looking for specific years for a birthday note can be pretty difficult. So yeah, I thought I'd share that. And then we have these 2 coins that I went over earlier, so if you want to see more about those, you can go back further in the video. But anyways, guys, I thought I'd do a little wrap up here. Today's going to be a shorter video, but if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please consider liking and subscribing. I try to make content like this, doing coin roll hunts, as well as talking about some of the history of different coins in my collection. If you have any comments on anything in this video, or know anything about doing bill hunting or coin roll hunting that you'd like to share, please feel free to leave it down in the comments below. I try to answer all the comments that I can. And I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.